Our top story tonight on Gravitas is about explosive tensions between Russia and the US in the skies of Europe. On Monday, Russian fighter jets intercepted and challenged American bombers near the Baltic Sea. This could have exploded into something bigger, something far more dangerous. And you know what that would be? In one word, catastrophic. The ground below is already in battle mode, with the rapid Russian advance across the Ukraine front and Ukraine's response using the latest missiles rushed by America and Europe to Kyiv. To be told, no, yet. There is continuous escalation. No one knows where it will stop as the stakes keep escalating on both sides. Just for context here, the encounter in the skies took place near Kaliningrad. According to reports, two Russian Su-27 fighter jets intercepted two US B-52 Stratofortress bombers that were reportedly operating in collaboration with Finland during a routine training mission. The American aircraft reportedly did not deviate from the planned flight paths. However, the timing and location of the incident raises critical questions. Was this merely just a standard military exercise or a calculated provocation? After all, this aerial encounter comes against the backdrop of a sharp escalation in hostilities in the region. Just last week, Russia launched a hypersonic missile at Ukraine, retaliating against Kyiv's use of advanced Western-supplied weapons to strike Russian territory. Such developments making these aerial intercepts more than just symbolic. They basically represent the continuing spiral of actions and counteractions that could escalate into something far more dangerous. Meanwhile, the tension in the skies mirrors the grinding conflict on the ground in Ukraine. In fact, as per reports, Russian forces have made significant battlefield advances, capturing over 90 square miles of territory in the Donetsk region. 90 square miles. That is about half the size of London, by the way. This is reportedly the Russian army's biggest monthly advance in Ukraine since the start of the war in 2022. As per reports, the town of Kurakhove, a key point on the front line, is at the risk of falling after months of Russian bombardment. Ukrainian defenders are reportedly stretched thin and grappling with supply shortages, hence struggling to hold the line. Kurakhove's potential loss could reportedly provide Russia with a strategic gateway towards larger objectives, including Zaporizhia, located nearly 140 kilometers away, and also giving impetus towards taking control of Pokrovsk, a vital logistics hub located 30 kilometers to the north. Reports say control of these areas would strengthen Russia's logistics network, allowing its forces to press deeper into Ukrainian-held territories. Meanwhile, there is further escalation, of course, in the war. As per reports, Ukraine has fired 13 ATACMS missiles in a span of just 3 days towards Russia. These strikes by supersonic tactical ballistic missiles reportedly targeted key military installations, including air bases and defense systems in Russia's Kursk region. Moscow has confirmed casualties and damage from these attacks, but has not divulged a lot of details. And in response, Russia has vowed retaliation. Remember, just last week, Russia showcased its hypersonic missile capabilities when it launched the Oreshnik, a new intermediate-range ballistic missile, at the Ukrainian city of Dnipro. These developments raise a key question. How long before these tit-for-tat escalations involve direct confrontations between the NATO forces and Russia? You see, because the possibility of miscalculation looms large, especially with both sides operating in increasingly close proximity. Meanwhile, concerns about drone activity adding another layer of complexity to all of this. US Air Force bases in the UK have reported mysterious drone sightings, prompting the deployment of British troops to bolster security. As per reports, 60 British troops have been deployed to US Air Force bases across the UK to protect them from drone attacks. Drones were in fact spotted near 3 military bases in Britain on Monday and early Tuesday. We told you about this. While the source of these drones remains unconfirmed, their coordinated movements reportedly suggesting there could be a lot more at play. Could this be another front in the broader conflict where unconventional tactics blur the lines between surveillance and provocation? Such incidents coincide with rising Russian anger over Western military support for Ukraine. Whether these drones are linked to Russia or opportunist third parties, they do exemplify the evolving nature of modern warfare, where traditional battle lines are supplemented by emerging threats from the skies. Russia's use of nearly 200 drones in a single night to attack Ukrainian infrastructure on Monday further demonstrated how the conflict is escalating on multiple fronts. Critical infrastructure in Ukraine, including power grids, has been severely damaged, leaving civilians to endure cold and darkness as winter sets in. These attacks highlight the human cost of a conflict that shows no signs of abating, as NATO allies conduct joint exercises and Russia and Ukraine both ramp up their military activities. The question remains, where do things go from here? Because both sides seem locked in a dangerous cycle of provocation and retaliation. And the longer this conflict drags on, the harder it becomes to control. As Russian and NATO warplanes share increasingly contested airspace, this is a reminder of how quickly tensions can escalate. With every maneuver, every missile and every strike, the line between posturing and peril grows thinner. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.